What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we actually have some pretty good news. It's actually regarding Social Security, and I want to address this because there's been multiple stories coming out that yes, Social Security could potentially be fixed. We could see, the Biden administration come out and propose something that Republicans might jump on board with. Might see Democrats come out and propose something that Republicans could be like, yeah, that could be a good idea. Well, that's kind of what we're getting now. So I'm going to address, there's actually 3 or 4 stories that I'm going to address in today's video. But again, this is actually pretty big news because we haven't seen much for Social Security as of late. And again, this could be a sign that things are starting to come. So first, all I ask is if you enjoy these daily uploads and appreciate the fact that I do hours and hours of research so that you don't have to, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. But let's get right down to it. How could Social Security potentially be fixed? Could the Biden administration seriously come out and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a bipartisan bill and we're going to get this passed together. Unity. No, probably not. But here is something. They are now talking about raising the minimum wage because in a recent report, it is now stating that every single state in the United States now requires you to make double the federal minimum wage in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in every single state. Okay? That would mean that you are not spending more than 30% of your monthly income. That's crazy because a lot of people that I know are spending 50, 60, somebody even spends about 78%. A person that I know spending 78% of their monthly take-home pay on an apartment. Okay? That's crazy. That also means that more and more people are struggling. So, here's what their discussions are. Right now, discussions amongst Democrats keep pointing to large companies making record profits. However, they are not paying their employees. And you're probably thinking, well, how would this fix Social Security? Is this going to do anything? Well, it could. Here's how. Right now, what they're saying is, what if instead of taxing millionaires, because that's the big discussion, that's what everyone's been talking about over the past couple years, is what if we just tax the multimillionaires, the billionaires, the Jeff Bezos, the Mark Zuckerberg, the Elon Musks of the world, or of the United States? What if we just, tax them? Then it'll be perfectly fine. Well, the problem is, how do you get certain Democrats to vote for that? Because if these millionaires or multimillionaires and billionaires are paying, their fair share of taxes, was what Democrats want. The problem is, are they going to put more money back into their business? Or now are they going to worry about, well, maybe I just need to start businesses elsewhere in different countries? That's what a lot of them have been doing. So that's actually taking money away from the United States and isn't helping Social Security. So the discussions are, could we instead of taxing multimillionaires, instead make companies pay higher minimum wages in order to increase the tax revenue? The answer is yes. According to multiple experts, this is a better idea, is to ensure that companies are not paying $7.25 an hour to their employees, but instead, maybe they're paying more like $10 an hour. That additional $2.75 an hour could add up if there's millions and millions of people that are making $7.25 an hour. Keep in mind, there's not, the vast majority of Americans are not making minimum wage. There's still a good percentage, but not the vast majority. So could this contribute to more revenue coming in for Social Security? The answer is absolutely yes. But is it going to fix Social Security forever? The answer is it would be a start. Okay? So, what we have heard though, and this is from another article, one Republican who commented on this who didn't want to be named, so I have no clue who this is. Okay? It says, he says his party, so it's, be a male Republican, we don't know if it's in the House or the Senate, his party would be open to a small minimum raise if these could be offset with additional tax credits for businesses. Again, This is what we are needing. We're needing the discussions. It's all great if we come out and here's a bill that somebody proposes, another person really supports it, and it just blows up, and everyone's like, yeah, that's it. How often do we see that happen? How often do we see every single senator vote in favor of a bill? Every single representative in the House vote in favor of a bill? Very, very rare. Even during the whole pandemic, how many of those bills were passed unanimously? Was it one? Was it one bill? The very first one, I think? Was that the only bill that was passed that was 100% support? Honestly, I think so. And that's where things are, it's interesting. Because right now, everyone's asking about, well, Social Security, is this really on the chopping block? And I watched a interview just the other day, and somebody said, somebody that was being interviewed simply said that, well, the president wants to cut Social Security. And the fact of the matter is this. President Biden does not want to cut Social Security. However, if they don't come up with some type of an agreement, if they don't come up with some type of plan to fix Social Security and increase tax revenue or decrease expenses, Social Security will become insolvent. And if Social Security becomes insolvent in the next 9 to 10 years, guess what? You are pretty much accepting of the fact that there's going to be a 20 to 22% cut to Social Security. So again, right there, you're digging, you're pulling at straws. But yes, Social Security and President Biden could be accepting of the fact that there's a cut. But does he really want it? No. Nobody wants to see a cut to Social Security. Even Republicans, they don't want to see Social Security get cut. And why would they? Social Security benefits for millions and millions of people. This is 90 to 95% of the income that they receive. They live off of this income. And if they don't receive it, or they see a 20 to 22% cut, guess what? They can't afford their apartment, okay, their lease, land lease, or their mortgage. Can't afford medications. Can't afford transportation. Okay, they can't afford utilities. And if all these people can't afford this stuff, where are they going? Where are they living? Who's paying for it? Because again, you can't live without a place, shelter. Okay, yeah, you can be homeless, but how well is that working, right? You can't live without certain utilities. You can't live without medication. There's a lot of people out there, and I see this. I see comments all the time, where a single person, an individual, cannot afford their medications, so they have to ration their medications. That's not a good feeling. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. I had to do that once. I had to ration medication because I didn't have enough. I was just on vacation. And it was a horrible feeling. Just think if there's a pharmacy right there and you can't go to it because you can't afford it. How crazy would that be? Now, the reason why this is all good news, though, not the whole not rationing medications, but the fact that Social Security could finally be fixed. This could be a fix. Hey, not a temporary solution, not a Band-Aid. This could be a fix. If we see, according to experts, if we see the minimum wage go up, and I'm not talking about go from $7.25 to $15 an hour. Yes, $15 an hour would be great, depending on certain states wherever you live. But is this absolutely needed? According to experts, they say no. $15 an hour is not needed, but raising it from $7.25 up to possibly $10, not immediately, but over time, this could actually help. This could actually put a little more money back into the Social Security Trust Fund. And if this were to happen, again, good news, because now Social Security is not going to become insolvent that soon. So that's where things are at right now. I just wanted to fill you in on these few little changes, these discussions that are happening within Congress regarding Social Security. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, I'm on somewhat of a vacation for a handful of days. Don't know exactly when we're gonna go back home, but thought I would still do my part, fill you in on all the news, whatever's going on within Congress regarding Social Security, the economy, and so much more. So again, If you do appreciate that, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also makes me feel good. But yeah, that is what I got for you guys today. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.